of the left's overreach, we talked a little bit this week about the crazy controversy that had broken out over this Utah girl who had worn a historically Chinese dress to a prom. And the left went nuts. The hard left said that this girl had done something deeply wrong. It was cultural appropriation. It was terrible in every way. How could she? She's a bad person. And she refused to apologize, as well she should. Showing once again that strong people should not apologize in the face of overwhelming pressure when they are right. She was not wrong. Now, here's the part that's hilarious. And just goes to show that the identity politics of the left, I think, is boring people. There's an article from the New York Times, and here's the title of it. Prom dress that caused a furor in U.S. draws head scratching in China. Okay, so in other words, there are a bunch of people in China, and they have no idea why this is even remotely controversial. So Chinese people are looking at this high school girl wearing a historically Chinese dress, and they're going, so what? Like, why is that bad? Like, great, now we can sell more prom dresses. What's the big problem here? Here's the article. When Kezia Daum wore a Chinese-style dress to her high school prom in Utah, it set off an uproar, but not because of its tight fit or thigh-high slit. After Ms. Daum, 18, shared pictures on social media of her prom night, a Twitter user named Jeremy Lamb hotly responded in a post that has been retweeted nearly 42,000 times. "My culture is not your prom dress," he wrote, adding profanity for effect. "I'm proud of my culture, for it simply to be subject to American consumerism and cater to a white audience is parallel to colonial ideology." Okay, but when the furor reached Asia, many seemed to be scratching their heads. This is the New York Times reporting, not the Daily Wire, right? Far from being critical of Miss Daum, who is not Chinese, many people in mainland China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan proclaimed her choice of the traditional high-neck dress as a victory for Chinese culture. Quote, "I am very proud to have our culture recognized by people in other countries," said someone called Snail Trail, commenting on a post of the Utah episode by a popular account on WeChat. "It's ridiculous to criticize this as cultural appropriation," Zhao Yijun, a Hong Kong-based cultural commentator, said in a telephone interview. "From the perspective of a Chinese person, if a foreign woman wears a kipao and thinks she looks pretty, why shouldn't she wear it?" If anything, the uproar surrounding Miss Daum's dress prompted many Chinese to reflect on examples of cultural appropriation in their own country. So does that mean when we celebrate Christmas and Halloween, it's also cultural appropriation? Asked one WeChat user, Larissa. Others were quick to point out that the kipao, as it is known in China, was introduced by the Manchus, an ethnic minority group from China's northeast, implying that the garment was itself appropriated by the majority Han Chinese. In its original form, the dress was worn in a baggy style mostly by upper-class women during the Qing dynasty, which ruled China for more than 250 years until 1912. It was only in the 1920s and 30s, when Western influence began seeping into China, that the kipao was reinvented to become a seductive, body-hugging dress that many think of today. For many cinephiles, it has become inextricably associated with Maggie Cheung, the actress who wore a stunning array of xiongsangs in War Kai-Wai's 2000 film In the Mood for Love. These days, it's rare to see Chinese women wearing kipaos in the street. Western fast fashion has taken over. So in other words, people are wearing each other's clothing from their different cultures, and no one cares. But the fact that the left have to declare Kanye West appropriated by the white community, the fact that they have to declare this girl from Utah a cultural imperialist is an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing, and it's driving people out of their arms. The crazier they are, the more people are going to be listening to shows like mine. The crazier they are, the more people are going to say, "Really, guys, this is the best you have to offer?" The more the left lies about about the idea that we're not brothers, the more the left suggests that we're not brothers and sisters, we're enemies who have to be boxed off into our own little ghettos, and we can't talk with each other, and we can't look at stuff in each other's culture and say, "Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's do some of that." The more we do that, the more people say, "Well, hold on a second, hold up." You know, so you're saying that, according to the left, you're saying I can't wear a Chinese-style dress, but it is better if I import products from China and people from China into the United States as a general rule. So you want us to bring people here, but then you don't want us to assimilate to some of their culture and them to assimilate to some of our culture. You don't want any of that. You don't want any of the cross-cultural exchange. McDonald's is cultural imperialism, but it's very good when a bunch of illegal immigrants come into the country and don't learn to speak English. That's a great thing, according to the left. And that's unreasonable. Okay, it's an unreasonable position. And there are too many people in America who are reasonable to fall prey to the stupidity of this nonsense from the left. So good for them. Good for Kanye. Good for this girl for not bowing to politically correct pressure. And again, I think that kudos to the left for being as crazy as they are, because without them, I think Republicans would be losing a lot more elections. Okay, time for a thing.